and welcome to San Antonio Monthly Magazine Podcast. Today, we are going to get to know who is Mr. Rolando Pablos. How are you today, Mr. Rolando?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Well, it is an honor to have you here, and today, everyone is going to get to know who is Rolando Pablos.
Well, let me tell you, I'm a family man first and foremost. My beautiful wife, Laura, and I just celebrated 31 years of marriage. We have four remarkable children. And I've been here in San Antonio for 40 years. San Antonio has been great to me. This is my community.
This is your community. You know what, Mr. Pablos, it's interesting that you say you've been here for 40 years because I myself have also been here for 40 years. And when I first moved to San Antonio, my first little business started at Lackland Air Force
Oh,
Base.
wow.
Door knocking. And so Lackland Air Force Base has been very special, all of that area of San Antonio. But the most beautiful opportunity that I've had is growing within the city. And that's exactly what you have been doing in the past 40 years. So did you get married here in San Antonio?
Yes, it's true. Well, look, I first arrived here in 1985 to attend St. Mary's University. I studied at St. Mary's biology. I got a degree in biology. I also went to law school at St. Mary's, and I studied business at the graduate business school at UTSA. And yes, this is where I met my wife, Laura. I worked through college. I worked at restaurants, washing dishes, waiting tables. And one fateful day, they sat her in my section when I was waiting tables, and we fell in love.
Mr. Pablos, why did you choose to represent our beautiful city of San Antonio as the upcoming mayor?
Well, first and foremost, San Antonio has been great to me. As I said, this is where I got my education, where I met my wife, where our children were born. We baptized them at San Fernando, Father David Garcia. This is where I've started my businesses. This is where Laura started her businesses. I mean, San Antonio's been great to us. And I think I'm at a point in my life where it's time to really give back, bring my skill set to the table. I've worked in business and government and economic development. And I see San Antonio really having tremendous opportunities ahead of it, and I want to be there to help this community take it to the next level.
Tell me your experience as Secretary of State.
So, the highest appointment a governor can make is Secretary of State. And Governor Abbott asked me to come represent the state of Texas because the Secretary of State is the Chief Economic Development Officer, is really the ambassador of the state. So, I traveled all over the world promoting Texas, bringing investment to Texas, and that's really where the majority of my economic development experience has been developed.
What have you done for the city of San Antonio that has been different in the past 2 years that no one has even thought about doing?
Well, I've been involved with the disabled community. My daughter Mia, our daughter Mia, has Down syndrome. She's 18 years old, and we've been advocates for the disabled community for all these years. But most recently, I sat on the board of Morgan's Wonderland. And Morgan's Wonderland is a terrific place, a welcoming place for everyone with disabilities. And also, we have developed the Multi Assistance Center, which is a one stop center for all families who have members of their family with disabilities. So we've been promoting that. And I also sit on the board of Special Olympics Texas.
I love Special Olympic Texas.
Yes.
Well, I love all of the nonprofit organizations here in San Antonio because Mr. Pablos, myself, I have hands on in a lot of the nonprofit organizations. As you know, we do have one that has been making some noise in the past 8 years and has literally made a differences right here in San Antonio, Texas. And it is all because of the opportunity of the business opportunities that it is right here in San Antonio, Texas. And I understand that you feel very strongly about that. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, look, my wife Laura, she retired as an orthodontist and started teaching STEM over at Health Careers High School. She is teaching dentistry to high schoolers, very bright minds. And for me, anything that involves teaching our kids science is very important. And what is being done down at Port San Antonio with the museum, I think is very important. And everything that you all are doing down there is very commendable because we have to make sure that our kids are exposed to STEM because that's really where I believe the future is.
And you are absolutely correct. Mr. Pablos, what would you like to share with the entire world that is watching this interview After all the debates that you have been through, what is it that you would like to share that is different, that you would like to speak from the heart?
Yes, look, our next mayor at this time in our history as a city needs to be an individual with experience. Experience and expertise really matters. So, what I bring to the table is many, many years of experience in economic development. I'm a business owner. I'm a small business owner. I understand business, and I've run three state agencies. One of them being Secretary of State. I've also been a regulator. I've run the Texas Racing Commission, which is a law enforcement agency, and the Texas Public Utility Commission, which involves regulating public utilities like SAWS and CPS here in town. And on top of that, I have the relationships in Austin and in Washington, D.C. to really take the city to the next level because other mayors in other cities have those relationships and they're going out advocating for their communities and are setting us back.
What would you do differently in San Antonio, Texas, to make San Antonio one of the biggest hubs for jobs opportunities?
I think what we need to focus on first and foremost is educating our youth. Education is key. So, quality education is going to be top of mind. We have to work with our school districts to make sure that they're held accountable in the outcomes of what they're doing. The other thing is we have to go out into the world and bring new investment here, bring companies that are going to bring quality jobs. And then also, we need to be fiscally responsible. We need to make sure that our taxpayer money is being protected. We need to know where that money is being spent and to make sure that that money is spent on our priorities, on public safety, anything related to basic services, and not on other things that right now really are priorities. We have to make sure that we take our taxpayer money and put it where it's supposed to be. Look, I want to look ahead. I want to be able to take what we have here today. We're a Toyota city, so let's focus on continuous improvement. So, how do we improve upon what we have today and make it better? And I think the best focus will be on making sure that our educational system is up to speed, that our economic development process works, and then also that our taxpayers are being protected.
Mr. Pablos, let's talk a little bit about the new bill that just passed, the SB 22, which is opening up the greatest opportunities for all the filmmakers to be able to film right here in Texas, and especially in San Antonio, Texas.
I think it's very exciting. We have to make sure that we keep up with other states. You know, Hollywood, California has proven themselves to be a place where it's not business friendly. And Texas, we have so many great locations. We have the trades here to be able to support that industry. And now being able to compete with states like New Mexico and Louisiana, we're going to be able to make Texas now a great hub for filmmaking. And I'm very excited about it.
I'm very excited about it myself. And so I want to touch 2 points right here. You know, you've said something very important that right now your strongest focus is to be able to bring more businesses to San Antonio. And I do want to share to the entire world that in the past 8 years, Techport San Antonio has opened up the doors to many, many businesses that have been able to create opportunities and other companies be able to make their home right here in San Antonio. And I'm going to speak a little bit by my experience. Being here 40 years, I have been able to grow thanks to the business opportunities and establishing the security of what we call education. But education comes one on one because if the businesses opportunities are there, the education has to be the strongest tool to make sure that everyone is qualified to be able to get hired at the correct jobs. So my next question for you, Mr. Pablos, will be, what are you willing to do for everything that is happening to our homeless? Because in the past 2 years, that number keeps on increasing more and more. And I know that you, as an immigrant, that is a very, very important subject that we all care about because we know what we go through as coming from another country.
Yes, obviously, I come from a country that has tremendous rates of poverty. San Antonio also has big poverty rates. We've had the same rate of poverty, 18% for the last 60 years. We have not moved the needle on eradicating poverty. And as you know, homelessness is just an extreme form of poverty. So, what I would like to do is, I would like to once and for all start tackling our poverty situation because poverty is a root condition that drives homelessness, crime, neighborhood blight, all of our public health issues. So why not go out and focus on bringing poverty levels down, moving people into, the middle income, and the middle class. I want to work, and the way you do it is through aggressive economic development, job creation, through quality education and fiscal responsibility. So we have the formula that we will deploy, but we have to tackle poverty first. And then on the homelessness front, we have to make sure that we fund the homeless shelters that are out there, and we address the individuals almost on a customized basis. Let's identify each of them and see what their needs are, what their wants are, because a lot of them, they just don't want the help. So we have to be able to customize a solution. And I've also called for the creation of a homelessness czar. One individual, one person who coordinates, who centralizes all of the efforts, because we're spending a lot of money in the city on homelessness prevention and eradication, but we don't seem to see the results the way we would want. So I want to task one individual who will be held responsible and accountable for this issue.
Mr. Pablos, what would you do for the Veteran Action Plan?
We have put together our own veteran action plan that specifically talks about making sure that our veterans have the opportunity to be employed. Also, military spouses have a very difficult time being employed. So we want to work with military spouses to make sure that they can get employed here, and wherever they get transferred, they continue to work. The other thing is we have to make sure they have our veterans have dignified homes and have the health care that they need. So we've put together, a plan that really focuses on the true needs of our veterans. But most importantly, we have to make sure that we show that we are grateful for their service, because they went out and fought for us, and now we have to fight for them.
That is absolutely correct. And I very much support you on that, because the veterans are very, very important, especially right here in San Antonio, Texas. All right, Mr. Pablo. So, what would you do for public safety?
Well, I'm very glad to know that the San Antonio Police Officers Association has endorsed me. They understand that first and foremost that I will not cut funding. We're gonna fund police and fire and EMS first. We're gonna make sure that we fulfill their needs, because right now we're short about 500 police officers, and we can't be funding other things that are less relevant than our public safety. We have to be able to combat crime, work with our firefighters and EMS so that they can be compensated fairly. But most importantly, I just want to make sure that both police and firefighters, they know that they are appreciated. I want happy police officers, happy firefighters going to work every day, knowing that we appreciate them and that they're making the money that is commensurate with the work that they're putting out.
Mr. Pablos, I want you to share with all of my family, friends, fans, all the people that know me, and they always see me working. That's the beautiful thing, because you know what, Mr. Pablos, I always see you working. So I know for a fact that's one thing you and I have in common, that we are always trying to go out there and work every day to try to help others. Share with us one story that has literally touched your heart of someone doing for you.
Wow. Well, there's been so many people in my life that have helped me. There are many people who have helped me take my life in a different direction. I'll tell you what. I remember a gentleman by the name of Dan Hollis. He was the assistant dean of the University of Texas at San Antonio's Business School. And when I applied to the master's program, the MBA, I got denied. I got declined. So I called his office and I asked for a meeting. And I went and I talked to him and I made my case. And I said, look, I know I can do the work. Just believe in me. And after that meeting, I walked away not knowing whether I was going to be accepted or not. Well, the next day he called me and he said, look, we're going to give you a chance. And it was that moment, that's that defining moment of where someone gave me a chance, and that changed the entire trajectory of my life, because then I went and I got my master's in business administration. Then I went to law school. I got another master. I mean, it was just this cascading effect because one person believed in me, and that was Dan Hollis.
That's a beautiful story, and that definitely makes a difference. You just never know,
You never know.
Mr. Rolando. You just never know, Mr. Rolando, who is out there watching and who is going to extend that hand to give you that opportunity. But most of all, who is going to believe in you.
Correct.
And one thing that Lorena Monroe does is, I do believe in Mr. Rolando Pablos. Why? For many reasons. But the most important one is we are immigrants. We understand the balance and balancing two worlds, the world of us as Hispanics and the world living in the most beautiful country that everyone dreams to be a part of. And right now, with San Antonio being one of the fastest growing cities, it is important to make sure that our voice is to be heard. And the only way is to be heard is to be asking. That's why I'm asking all these questions. All right, Mr. Pablos, one thing that I am going to ask you is what would you do different from all your other interviews in this interview that I want my people, mi gente, to understand why Rolando Pablos for our next mayor of San Antonio?
I'm doing this for our families. Our families come first. If we don't take care of our kids, of our parents and grandparents, of our, business owners, family-owned businesses, then we're not going to get anywhere. So, when Laura and I decided that this was going to be the right thing for us to do as a family, to be able to help other families in San Antonio, the first thing we said is, what is going to be the best thing that could happen? And me stepping up and volunteering my services to help my family and everybody else's family really take San Antonio to the next level where it's a prosperous city, a city where anyone can thrive. That's really what we're wanting to do. And this is why I'm doing this. I want to retire here. I have no other ambitions. I just want San Antonio to be the best it could be, and our best days are ahead of us.
I love the quote that you have been using. When family thrives, the whole city thrives. Tell me about that quote.
Absolutely. We have to make sure that every family has the opportunity to thrive. And the way we do it is just like Dan Hollis did to me. We give people a chance. We have to make sure that they have everything that they need to succeed. They have to work hard like we've all worked hard. They have to understand that it's not easy. We're not afraid of hard work, and we've proven that as a community. Sometimes we just need that hand up, and that's really what I want to do, is make sure that our entire community has an opportunity to succeed, and we're going to be there for them, just like those that have helped us along our lives.
Mr. Pablos, as an immigrant, what would be the first thing that you would do differently stepping in as mayor of San Antonio to be able to put a better solution between the United States of America and our beautiful country of Mexico?
Well, I'm very committed. The first trip I'm going to make is to go see President Claudia Sheinbaum. I want to sit with her. I want to talk to her about the great opportunities we have. Mexico is our number one trade partner, and Texas is Mexico's number one trade partner. We have to make sure that we have not only cultural exchange, but also business exchange, commerce exchange. San Antonio is positioned perfectly to be that gateway to Mexico, and we have to take advantage of it. We just have to make sure that we create relationships, because you know that in Mexico, business is about relationships. So we have to make sure that we can get to know each other and trust each other. And that's really what I want to do, is I want to be able to develop that trust and respect that is needed to be able to collaborate, because we're really one binational region and we have to act that way.
That's right. One thing that Rolando Pablos has won already is the trust. The trust because he understands the balance. What is the balance? To Lorena Monroe, the balance is understanding that creating jobs, bringing businesses, and opening up the doors will put a solution to many, many problems that we are facing right here in our own city of San Antonio. And I can speak loud because I am a woman that came here and started door to door knocking, one door at a time, just like you have been doing it for the past 40 years. And for you to be Secretary of State is not easy. It's not easy to be Secretary of State because it takes someone with a great team. Let's talk a little bit about the wonderful team that has supported you and believe in you, Mr. Pablos.
Well, we have created a very broad based coalition. We have a coalition from every corner of this community. It's not partisan, it's not ideological. It's a coalition of individuals who understand that we can take San Antonio to the next level with an individual who understands government and business and economic development. So the movement that we've created is nonpartisan. It's a movement of individuals who care about this community. And let me tell you, the volunteers that we have on our team are just wonderful people who want the best for our city and see in me a leader that is genuine in saying that we will not make this a partisan office, that we will bring in the best of the best. And everybody believes in it. And the surge that we're getting of support is unprecedented. And I'm just so humbled by it.
And believe me, I see your team. I see they believe in you, but not only your team, there is millions of people that know exactly who Mr. Rolando Pablos is because of your hard effort, your hard work, but most of all, the passion that you have for doing things for others. You're the kind of man, to my eyes, that you bring the community together. And right now, there is no better place nowhere except San Antonio, Texas, to make sure that we continue doing what we're doing. And what we're doing is backing everybody up with what their dreams are, their goals. And you have to understand one thing, mi gente, my people. We have to understand that it does take a great leader with experience. 40 years of experience tells me a lot because it's easy to say, I've been working for 40 years, but the channels that we go to get us where we're at are critical. So it is critical for everyone to go out there and vote. Vote because your vote is your voice, and your voice depends on your family, your children, and everything that our next generation is getting ready to confront. Mr. Pablos, one question for Lorena Monroe. What would you like to know about Lorena Monroe?
Lorena, I was so glad to see that you and my mom share the birthplace that is Puebla, Puebla. And so for me, when I learned that, I was just so happy to know. But you and I share the immigrant story. You and I are here working hard, making lives better for not only for us, but for everyone. And so my question to you is, what drives you?
People like you.
Oh, that's so nice.
Leaders like you.
Thank
Every
you.
day with my wonderful husband, David Monroe, and every day that man comes with joy in his face. And the joy that he brings is, how do I make tomorrow better? And that's exactly the joy I see right now. The joy when you decided, along with your beautiful wife, Laura, when you guys decided to contribute the time to make a difference for San Antonio as a family, that's joy that you're giving to the world. And not only that, as an immigrant, you know the rules and you know what it takes to be able to work with one of the largest countries in the world, which is our country, Mexico. Why? Because we, as United States of America, have always depended in Mexico, and Mexico has always depended on the US. So I think it is very important and very critical for people to understand that it takes nations, it takes countries, it takes people that understand the meaning of what family values are all about.
My intentions for running are pure. And I want to reaffirm that, in fact, they are. I want to retire here. I want to give back to this beautiful community. And I have no other ambitions other than to keep my family close, tight knit. And I want my children to come back to San Antonio and make their lives here, have their children here. So if there's ever any question about my true intentions, let me tell you right now, I want to do this for my community de corazón.
Del corazón. Así es, señor Rolando Pablos. Un honor, un privilegio tenerlo aquí. It's been an honor to have you here and be able to listen from your lips about just everything that you've been, where you are, but most of all, where you want to go tomorrow. So your vote is important, and how can people reach out to vote? Because I've been asking questions, and there was one beautiful young lady that said, oh, please make sure you ask Mr. Rolando Pablos how to ask young people go out there and vote. Because I believe that right now, this opportunity really is in the hands of our upcoming generation, and those are the ones that really are looking up to you because they know that their future matters right here in San Antonio.
Get out to vote. Early voting ends June 3rd, and the election day is June 7th. And you can go to any polling location, present your ID or whatever you have that identifies you, and that'll allow you to vote. It's very important.
Very important. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Rolando Pablos, and thank you, San Antonio Monthly Magazine, for always allowing Lorena Monroe to bring the voice of our community. Hasta la vista.